Here's a video idea I had. It's basically a cool topic on Bob's Tavern. If you don't know what Bob's Tavern is, it's the Reddit thread or Reddit page, whatever the hell it's called, about Hearthstone Battlegrounds. So people post most things just on here, videos, discussions. And this is a question that I saw. In your opinion, what is the most deceptively strong unit in the game right now? And I think it might be interesting to scroll through, see what people think are the strongest units in the game and talk a bit about it. And depending on if I find more cool things to talk about, we might talk about it. Let me know what you think about this idea. Maybe it's shit, but so be it. And the first thing is Bird Buddy. So Bird Buddy is the Avenge card on tier 3. And I don't even think it's deceptively strong. I think it's just objectively strong. This card is so good. If you have like a couple beasts early and an Acolyte of Cthulhu as a taunt or something like that, dude, the stats that you can put on your board are crazy. This can stay until the late game and then you can sell it. It is like an early River Crocolisk. Is it called? No, River. Just a Croc on tier 5. Because, you know, then 2 things need to die and you get +6/+6 on a beast. Now, if anything dies, you get, if you have 6 beasts, also +6/+6 on your beasts. So this card is just objectively the nuts. Now, it is not something that scales. It's not something that you can just build your board around till the late game. You have to transition still. So don't get baited. But yeah, I don't think it's deceptively strong. I think it's just actually super strong. And then someone said the 1/1 demon that summons 2 more 1/1. So the tier 1 card, Icky Imp. Now, it's a tier 1 unit, so strong. It's never going to be like a mid-game, late-game unit. But it is, I think, one of the strongest picks on tier 1. Also because of Avenge synergies, like because you want to set up for Avenge, this is amazing. If you triple into a 4 and hit Impatient Doomsayer, this triggers it 3 times as a 1-drop. Plus, you can roll Juggler, and then it summons 3 demons, which is amazing damage and amazing tempo on the board. Plus, well, it is a demon, so your Impatient Doomsayer can also give you pairs or triples on this card. Plus, if you have Big Fernal, it gives you +2/+2 every round because it summons 2 like, overall, there's so many mid-game demon synergies with this card that it is definitely one of the better cards. Even on tier 3, I sometimes take this if I have a good setup for it. So, yeah, sure. It's more like a card that only fits in a specific niche kind of board. But I can see why you would think it's deceptively strong. Sure, yeah, it's fine. And here, Acolyte of Cthulhu, I think same reasoning somewhat. It is a reborn taunt. It protects your board. It people sometimes don't play around it properly. It is good with Avenge. It protects your board while keeping your Avenge card safe in the back and get value. Anyway, what is the rest? I watch Dog a lot, and I noticed he keeps saying how strong the unit was. Knew it was good, but I started picking it more, and it honestly is kind of nuts in the early game. I don't think it has a bad matchup without some sort of hero power tricks. It's kind of weak in the mid game. I mean, yeah, it's no tempo. In the early game, it's good for a couple turns, but then compared to tier 2 or tier 3 cards, it's bad. So it's more a card that you try and get value from instead of play for tempo in the mid game, late game. But it's good for triggering Avenge, exactly. In the late game, it still holds up because like a smaller version of that one card that forces. I think they're talking about Alystra. In case you don't know Alystra, that was the tier 6 card, 7/7 Reborn Divine Shield. Whenever someone attacks into a taunt, that is attacked into. I don't know if that is a good comparison. It's just like a Void Lord, right? It's just something, it's 2 taunts on 1 board spot. Void Lord is also 2 taunts. If you have more board space, you can summon 2 extra or 3 extra, you know? But it just protects your board for 2 hits, but you have to play it 2/2. So it's somewhat comparable to Alystra, but not really. The upside of not triggering most late game death rattles. Sure, we all know that it's one of the best tier 1 cards, so I don't think it's deceptively strong. I think it's just also a good card. I think with deceptively, I would mainly talk about cards that are underrated or that you don't see often in the meta. But I guess in high ranks, you just see everyone play these cards for the reason that I explained. Am I being too picky? I'm probably being too picky. I shouldn't look too much into this. In the current meta, oh, they're just talking about acolyte rates. I'll probably go with the pirate card Peggy. Dude, okay, I love this. Even if you don't get a golden, you can have a pretty decent mid-range board by just spamming pirates. Well, that's not necessarily true. You can just have a Peggy or 2 Peggies or a Peggy and then whatever pirate, like a briny bootlegger to get gold. You don't need to be spamming pirates. You can be doing anything else. Play Menagerie, play Beast. Whatever you play, whatever cards you buy, you're going to get buffs from Peggy. So you don't even need to buy and sell pirates in order to get buffs from Peggy. And that's why I think Peggy is deceptively strong. because it's just a card that you buy once, and depending on how long it stays on the board, it's going to give you so many free stats. It's going to give you so much in return for just buying cards, which you do anyway. So if you hit it early, most of the time I take it. So yeah, I don't think you have to be buying and spamming pirates unless you want to force pirates or you find the good ones, but sure. And if you hit a golden, then it is a viable end game build. Sure, if you hit Hogger with it as well. Just the golden Peggy alone isn't going to get you there. I don't see a lot of people playing this build and have a little success with it. That is why I wouldn't say it's the... I do think it's deceptively powerful, for sure. I think it's underrated and people pass up on it too much. Like, if you buy 3 cards a turn, let's say it's +3/+3 for free, right? If you have double Peggy, it's +6/+6 for free, that you didn't have to do anything for it. That's why Gold Grubber was good. If you triple into it early with 1 golden, you get +2/+2 a turn for free, and that was strong for a while. Now it fell off. You also got to keep your golems on the board. Peggy solves those issues. And again, it has more explosive capabilities. So I would probably say Peggy as well. Yeah, I like it. Oh yeah, and mobile. Don't play it on mobile. Don't do it to yourself. Wouldn't necessarily call it strong, but Thorncolor is a... Yeah, I agree. Thorncolor is the Quillboard that they removed, but now put back on tier 3. It's just a good card. It's a 4/3. On Battlecry, it gives you a gem already, so you don't have to wait a turn, which is the big upside compared to Gem Spitter, for example. Since if you have a Bristle... What's it called? The 3/3 Boar on tier 3. If you gem it, it gets like +3/+3. If you hit that card, you very often have to like wait a turn to get a gem and play it on it. But with Thorncolor, yeah, it's not the case. And you get reliably gems every turn. It's good tempo. It's just a decent card. You don't even have to go into Quillboards. Like, gems works with every tribe. It's just +1/+1. That's why I like the design on Quillboard so much as well. I think my Dark Horse... What does that even mean? My is the 3/2 beast that spawns a taunt? Taunt? You have Mama Bear can help carry mid-game. I mean, every beast carries mid-game with Mama, so I don't really know why this beast in particular is better with Mama Bear. I guess because it's a taunt, but still, I would prefer a high main. It's a great card for Avenge meta as it guarantees taunt. Sure, I would still prefer the Reborn taunt as well, the acolyte. It is higher than acolyte that uses the same use, but a little bit higher stats. Yeah, synergies with Bird Biddy, Crocolisk, Macaw. I mean, you don't really want to play Macaw with the 3/2 Mama Bear. But yeah, that's fair. There's some extra synergies with it compared to Acolyte of Cthulhu, although those happen on tier 5 and above, and by then you prefer having better cards on the board. It's a decent card that I take sometimes, but I don't think it's deceptively strong by any means. Of course, to each their own, maybe in different lobbies with different heroes and different playstyles, you know, it could get more use than what I usually get out of it. And then, yeah, it has good stats. I do think it, like this guy mentioned, that the cost, good stats for its cost. For a tier 2 unit, it is a really good unit. Like compared to Harvest Golem, it is already better. But Harvest Golem is a mech, so you can reset the Deflectable, you can module it, and there you will see differences though. But just as a raw unit on its own, sure. I'm not going to make this video too long. I'll look at a couple more. Trickster, yeah, the tier 1, I guess, that gives your health to his health to other cards. When it was first released, it didn't see play. It was a pretty bad card, but people quickly realized that it's a pretty good demon. If you can buff it up, especially if you have a hero power that helps with it, that puts stats on the board, or like Vol'jin, because Vol'jin can swap the stats with Terragosa, and they have a really cool build. So I think Trickster has some cool strats, but you need to hire a lot if you actually want to turn it into a build. Very often it's just a tempo unit, then it comes out later, or it just sticks and you go full demons or whatever. And a full Trickster build is more of a meme that you see on Reddit, as you know, people hire and put their games on here. But yeah, I do think it is probably a little bit underrated by some players, but I do think it's also overrated by some players. So don't get tricked into taking Trickster. You see what I did there? And then Macaw without actual synergy and Sorolisk? I mean, why? Sorolisk has just been a decent tempo unit for a while, but it falls off compared to what exists. And that's it. Those are all the answers. I think this is not an old thread anyway. It's 6 hours ago. So, I mean, I'll leave the link to this thread in the description if you want to join the discussion. Hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe I might do more. Let me know what you thought down below, and I'll see you in the next one.